This is the host, the Tuskers, Sri Lanka. Can they, in front of their home crowd, upset this championship side who are on a roll, looking to clean sweep the series? 3 legs. They won Hong Kong, they won Korea. The Tuskers, well, they took 3rd spot in Hong Kong, so they're not far off the pace. A couple of their big players are back for this weekend, namely Danushka Ranjan. And here they come on the field now. This is the moment the crowd's been waiting for. The audience on Facebook around the world. Have Sri Lanka got what it takes to upset this Japanese side? Let's have a look at the squads. Of course, Sakai, Katsuyuki Sakai in 7, the skipper, the playmaker, the visionary. He will be getting this team around. Kamili Sowajima in number 5. He is the Colossus forward. And look out, though, for Kevin Joseph in number 4. Danushka Ranjan in 11. They lost their skipper earlier on in the day. Surya Bandara got absolutely poleaxed in the game against Hong Kong. From the Hong Kong Society of Referees, Matt Rodden has got the charge of this match as we close in on the final stages of the 2018 series. Welcome in my co-commentator, Jed Thine.
Thanks very much, Grant. Yeah, this one's a big one. This one's a big one for the local fans. They really get to see what they've got under the hood against the very best in Asia. And Japan, they haven't been disappointing at all this tournament.
They go down the middle there. Motomura can't get it. The Sri Lankans bat it back, but waiting for it for Japan. And here goes Nakazawa on an early surge. Motomura's waiting with the hands up. Wide ball to Nishikawa. Here's Sowachima out wide. This huge colossus of a man gets taken down by Reza. And just an early stretch of the Sri Lankan defence here. Motomura back on the inside channel. And Sakai, they're playing with real urgency here, aren't they? They're normally a little more relaxed and composed. Sowachima, they can't stop this huge man. He's in, the leading try scorer for the series. Goes in for another one.
7.
And from the opening phase of play, his 12th try of the series. And we're underway here in the first Cup semi-final.
Well, the only big test, the real big test for Sri Lanka is their commitment on defence, their commitment for each other on defence. And Sowajima has been a nightmare for every team of this tournament and every team in this series. A conversion attempt just to the inside of the uprights. But Sowajima, he is a premier player in this Asia Rugby 7 series. Time and again they go to him. Sakai holding the ball beautifully. And they squeeze the trigger. And Danushka Ranjan, he's no match for the big Japanese player.
Hashino gets us underway. They form a nice pod there. Sri Lanka, they've secured possession. Their turn with the ball. A long way to go. They'll be looking for Danushka Ranjan and Kevin Dixon. There goes Reza Rafadine. Look how quick they come up in the arc, the Japanese defence. Now they're putting on the hammer. This is good from the Sri Lankans. This is Danuk. Danuk beats the tackle. He's got Nishikawa to beat. Danuk's got the legs on him. And what a reply from Sri Lanka. The big dive. Under the post they go. What a beauty from Sri Lanka. They're back in this match straight away. 8th try of the series for Danuk.
Well, Sri Lanka need to swallow that one and get on with the job. It's important to stay in contact with Japan. But we know that Japan can change gears and there's plenty of time left in this game still. If you're going to bring the crowd into the action, that's the way to do it. Look at this. Kevin Joseph gets on the outside. Very little room to work with, and the Japanese players are caught in a tangle up.
A groin buster.
That is almost the cruelest step of all, an ankle breaker. As the Tuskers go in, square things up or actually take the lead.
Kevin Dixon goes deep. Puts that one up. Contestable, so Ajima bats it back. The second set of possession for Japan. And they look full of running, don't they? Really taking it to the defensive line. Normally they'll sort of looked a little bit more relaxed and composed, but they're really trying to get on with the job here. Here's the man straightening up into the halfway now. He's looking for runners left and right. They're coming. Here is Nakazawa. Nakazawa gets taken by Kevin Dixon. Nishikawa then fires it across. Motomura looking for, look at that on the short ball. It's Daizawa. He beats one and he hits for the post, and the lead changes again. It's all on here at the racecourse. We're off to the horses. Daizawa, the campaigner, dots it down. Eventually Rodden awards the try.
Well, the momentary lapse in defence by Japan. They strike back pretty effectively, almost ruthlessly in front of this, well, this home crowd, mate. They are absolutely focused. As Sakai
10.
Meanders up to the goal post. He adds the 2, 12 points to 7 now. Japan take the lead again. As we just watch this closing part of the play, great ball from Motomura. Just holds it, creates that little bit of space. Good angle by the attacking Japanese. All important converted try. They're away again.
5 minutes gone, 3 tries scored. We've got a proper semi-final on our hands here. They look full of beans too, don't they? Sudam has to clean that one up on the floor. Looks like Danushka Ranjan starting this one from the bench. Motomura with the tackle. Oh, look at the clean out from Adisha there. Coming in like an Exocet missile. Just gets there in the nick of time. Over the top from Sudam. It was a cunning plan but didn't work. Here now comes Hoshino. Straightening up Nakazawa.
Holding on.
Holding on is just
Let's release.
very quick, isn't it? There's no margin for error there. Rodden straight onto them, not releasing into the final minute. It's been blistering so far. He's gone for distance and he's not going to pop that out. Oh, look out. So Ajima's got the ball.
It's a big error close to the end of the first half. I can't see Japan wanting to let Sri Lanka off the hook.
Motomura opens the legs, in and out, gets away from Sudam. Can he pop it up? Maybe he should have. Fancied himself to get up and go again there. Temporarily slowed them down. Daizawa. Nishikawa now heads himself for the posts. Sakai's there. He wants to get his hands on it. He'll sort things out. Coming hard and straight, so Ajima back to Sakai, and that's cool work, isn't it? The 2 star players for Japan, Sakai, so Ajima, just, well, they sew up the Sri Lankan defence there right under the posts.
Not a bad miss on the touch finder by Sri Lanka. And the Japanese need no invite at all, really. They'll come at you from any angle. The sensei goes in for a 7-pointer, and we'll just see how beautifully constructed they made this in the end. No panic with Japan, Suijima and Sakai working beautifully together. Great break from Motomura. You could see them lining up on the far side of the pitch for it. And at the half-time, it is Japan leading Sri Lanka 19-7.
That's been played at a blistering pace. 4 tries on the board. If we just run through those tries again, see Rodden there getting smashed out of the way. Here's the first one to Soejima in the corner. This was Sri Lanka's riposte straight away. And they stayed in touch with that one. But then coming back at them with Japan with 2 more tries. to see out this half. Daizawa with the change of pace and direction. And then finally it was Sakai after Motomura down that far side. It's going to be a big ask for Sri Lanka to come back from this already. 3 tries to 1. They're down. They'll need to try and get something early in the second half, surely, just to give themselves a sniff. That takes Sakai up to, I think, leading point scorer on the series. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook at asia.rugby, Instagram at Asia Rugby Live, and Twitter at Asia Rugby. Yeah, everyone's having a great time down here. If you're in Colombo, well, you've got 7 minutes to get down here. You could still make the 3rd and 4th playoff or the cup final.
Make sure they're behind. Sri Lanka ready?
About to get underway in the second half. After that one is Nakazawa. Up in the air goes Jansha Dayan. Secures it nicely there. It was a difficult one to secure. Grabbing across the field goes Adisha. Kevin Dixon's there. There's Danushka Ranjan. He's on in 11 for the second half. Immediately injects himself into the plate. Sudam, Kevin Dixon. Japanese defence not given an inch here. Look at Sakai there. He's over the top. Shows a bit of daylight to Rodden. Wins the ball, and here they come. Just running with the ball in 2 hands. Can he pop it up to Nakazawa? No. Referee happy for that one to go on. Soejima with the flat bullet across the face of the players to Daizawa, who goes in for a second and put that down to Sakai on the far side there with the turnover. Bit more daylight now for Japan.
Too many threats for Japan. Far too many for Sri Lanka to handle. And again, they calmly go about their business.
10. Sri Lanka,
Soejima
move quickly.
came in, made a big contact on the far side, helped out Sakai. They won the ball, he got clear of it. Then he doubles around, he does some great work in the loose to get back round and get involved. Sakai's conversion attempt, no threat at all to the posts. Doesn't need to be when they're scoring like this. The final ball from Soejima, look at that, there's no one else in the frame.
Just to remind you that the second and third finishes, highest finishes after Japan, will go through to the series qualifiers in Hong Kong. Here we go now. Kevin Dixon absolutely brings that grandstand to its feet on the far side. And they say, don't forget about us. From the restart, they get it into the hands of the speedy character. Goes in for yet another try this weekend. They stay in touch. His 4th try of the tournament.
Well, it's a crowd pleaser, and if they can back it up with another one, then they've got themselves in with a shake. Or maybe putting some pressure on this Japanese side.
Now, please.
They look on with interest from the grandstand. Here's the conversion attempt. No extra points. They had 5 for Sri Lanka. I'll have to chase this restart for all they're worth. And as time ticks down, look. Well, I mean, how many steps to the metre is he doing? Goodness gracious me, talk about cadence. Talk about tempo.
And there's an error from the restart. Unfortunately, that will take the wind out of their sails a little.
Reminiscent of me heading to the tuck shop pie warmer.
So Soejima couldn't quite reach out and get Kevin Dixon. He was too nippy off the mark. backed himself down that blind. They've given the ball back to Japan here. 3.5 minutes remaining. 2 scores required. At the moment, here's Hayashi. Fresh legs for Japan. Runners coming from everywhere. Up comes Dansha. Makes this tackle. Had to be made. Nakano now. Up to Daizawa looking for his hat-trick. He's got Noguchi with him. The other fresh legs on. Noguchi gets smashed into the flag and says thumbs up. He's confident, but Matt Rodden's there. Johnny on the spot. He's going to speak to Charlie Brown.
Well, you've got to admire the ability to score the try and immediately get the thumbs up after it. And as far as he's concerned, there's absolutely no need to go to the TMA. You've wasted money on flying the guy out here for that one.
Just the second TMO decision, isn't it, for the whole weekend?
There he goes. Oh, he's done well.
Left leg is the one, I think.
Leg's okay. It was a reverse.
I don't think it's long enough to have gone out.
That's not the angle. I think the original shot from the live feed was the one, maybe. Here we go. Yeah, that does look in. Yep, he has done very well, hasn't he? Noguchi, fresh on the field.
I can hear you, Phoenix.
They may not have brought TMO in on business class. He might be arguing.
I can award the try.
He might be arguing for the next one. Matt Rodden waits. A little boy waits somewhere in Colombo.
Thank you. Time on.
No longer.
Yoshihiro Noguchi takes the 5th score for Japan. That might be the one that breaks the Sri Lankans. After Kevin Dixon gave them a little bit of hope. Hasn't had a lot of game time, Noguchi. Previous game he came on, did exactly that as well. From right out wide into a bit of a breeze. That's an incredible effort. Just to the left though. 29 points to 12. Watch it at full speed.
Oh, he's got the fury, hasn't he? Look at that.
It's a great effort by Saddam coming across there. It's been butchered by Sri Lanka from the restart. 2 minutes remaining only. Noguchi gets it away to Nakano. Just looking to put this one well and truly to bed now. So Ajima puts on some goose, takes on Dixon. Dixon comes back at him, gets him on the 22. A little cheer from the crowd over there. And they're really attacking this Sri Lankan defence now, aren't they? Here's Fukumoto. The defenders get on him, and that's well recycled. That's very quick ball from Japan. They're on fire now. Hayashi, so Ajima, again, he gets up. The old kickstart motorbike. And this time he's close enough to finish it off. Gets over there in the tackle of Naveen. And they're really piling on the points now, showing Sri Lanka who's boss in Asian rugby.
Well, so Jima, so effective out wide for Japan. He's a magnificent carrier. It's the second time he's had a crack at Joseph, and look at that, he just holds him. Puts the hitch kick in. A little bit untidy at the touchdown, but never mind. Can't have it all your own way. Conversion attempt. Well, it was just an attempt really at the end of the day. Beautiful build-up work by Japan. One side to the other. Stretching the Sri Lankan defence all the time in the middle. And in the end, Sujima got half a gap to go. He probably didn't even need that to get there, to be honest. A very elusive player for a big man out wide.
They're running white hot now. They've rolled the bench, and the bench has come on and done good. Sakai's gone off, and here comes Danuk. Hooter sounds. Sri Lanka with the last attempt. Naveen from about 70 metres out. Danushka Ranjan, we haven't seen him with the ball at all. Big ask for him to come in after missing the 2 legs and be expected to make a difference. Scored a couple of nice tries in pool play. They're up against the machine here. Here's Danuk. Gets chopped down nicely by Hayashi. Pops it up to Amalka Guranatne, and Mr. T goes down to the corner there. Well done. Good determination. Staying in the game. The big prop forward, Lanka Gunaratne, gives the crowd something. Consolation try. His first try of the series. He's pretty pumped about it.
Well, he looks like he should have a couple of tusks, to be honest. This bloke's a bit of a runaway. He was thundering after the line. If ever there was an argument to award a couple of extra points for a good dive, I think that might be a good place to start. As Sri Lanka forced to take a knee in front of this outstanding Japanese outfit. What lies in store for Sri Lanka? Will they make their fans smile later this evening? 34-17. Final score, Japan defeating Sri Lanka. The Asia Rugby 7 Series semi-final. Japan assume their position.